Hello, welcome to today's session of ICSE Physics, Keeping Intellectually Engaged. What does the term couple refer in mechanics? Well, today's objectives are define a couple and determine the moment of a couple, effects of couple, and example of couple in everyday life. Come on, let's begin. What's the meaning of couple in physics or in mechanics? Well, you know the literal meaning of couple. That is a pair. A pair of human beings. What is couple in physics? Here in physics, a couple means a pair of forces. A pair of forces. Let's try to understand what is couple in physics. For that, we will consider a meter rule AB pivoted at the point O. You can see in the diagram two equal forces P and Q act on the meter rule at the point A and B. Alright? So that these forces are parallel, they are parallel but oppositely direction. You can see that this force P is acting upward, Q is acting downward. So what are the characteristics of these forces? They are equal in magnitude. P and Q are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction. And the line of action of the forces are not same. They are not acting on the same line of action of the force. Now let us consider the moments. The force P produces an anti-clockwise moment, right? And what about the force Q? Force Q also produces an anti-clockwise moment. Anti-clockwise moment. This force P also produces an anti-clockwise moment. Alright? So we can write each of these forces, P and Q, produces a turning effect. Force P produces a turning effect in the anti-clockwise direction. Force Q produces a turning effect in the anti-clockwise direction. Each of these forces, P and Q, produces a turning effect in the same direction, in the anti-clockwise direction. So they do not cancel each other. Since the moments are in the same direction, in the anti-clockwise direction, they do not cancel each other. So the body will experience a rotation. It will rotate about the point O. Clear? Thus we can say that, as you see in the diagram, two equal and opposite parallel forces, two equal opposite parallel forces not acting the same lines form a couple. So what is couple? How a couple is constituted? Two equal, unlike and parallel forces whose line of action of force, see this is the line of action of force, are not same form a couple and produces a rotational effect. What is the effect of this couple? Couple always produces a rotation, or we can say that a couple is always needed to produce a rotation. Alright? Okay. Now what are the examples of couple that we see in our everyday life? Turning the key in a lock. To turn a key in the keyhole of a lock, forces are applied by the fingers. These forces form a couple. You can see turning the tap. Turning a water tap, in order to open a tap, forces are applied by the fingers. These forces form a couple. Steering of a motor car wheel. For turning a steering wheel, the driver of the car applies a couple by his two hands. In all the cases, you can see a pair of forces produces rotation. Now let's study what is moment of a couple. To study moment of couple, let us consider AB is a bar which is pivoted at the center O as shown in the figure. At the end A and B two equal and opposite forces F are acting at the ends A and B as shown in the figure. These two forces are F here, F here. What are their properties? They are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. And the perpendicular distance between the two forces AB, we call it as a term called couple arm. So I can write AB is equal to D, that is known as couple arm, arm of couple arm. Alright. So when you look at the diagram, these two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. What is their resultant sum? Of course, the resultant sum in any particular direction is 0, but it is not able to produce any translational motion as their resultant force is 0 in any particular direction. There is no translational motion, but each force has a turning effect together in the anti-clockwise direction and form a couple, and this couple rotates this bar fixed at the point O. Alright, I hope the figure is clear to you. Now let us study the couple action. What is the moment of force at the end A? I can write moment of force at A is equal to force into the perpendicular distance O into A, OA. Alright, because it is anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction. What is the moment of force at the end B? Moment of force at B is equal to, again, the moment, what is the formula for moment of force or the torque? Force into perpendicular distance. What is the magnitude of force? F into the perpendicular distance OB. Alright, both are in the same direction, a anti-clockwise direction. Alright, then what is the total moment of couple? Total moment of couple due to these two forces acting at end A and end B. I can write F into OA plus F into OB. Just sum it up. F is common outside, OA plus OB. Alright, that's equal to, F is equal to, what is OA plus OB? OA plus OB, this total distances, distance between two forces, that we denoted as couple arm. So I can write total moment of couple is equal to force into either of the forces into arm of couple or couple arm. Alright, so we are getting the formula as moment of couple. We can write moment of couple is equal to, learn this formula, very important formula. It is moment of couple is equal to the product of forces, either of the forces, into couple arm. What is couple arm? The perpendicular distance between two forces A to B. We call it as couple arm. This is known as moment of couple. Alright. Now let us solve a problem to understand more about moment of couple. Two forces, each of magnitude 8 Newton, act vertically upward and downward, respectively on two ends of a uniform rod of length 2 meters, freely pivoted at its center. Calculate the resultant moment of force about the midpoint of the rod. Name the resultant effect of these two forces produced there. Let us try to solve it. Look at the diagram drawn on the board. You can see a meter rule balanced at the point O. Two forces of magnitude 8 Newton and 8 Newton are acting at the end A and B. Two forces equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Alright. What is the moment of force about midpoint O? Due to 8 Newton force acting vertically upward, one is acting vertically upward, other is acting vertically downward. So moment of force, we can write moment of force due to 8 Newton acting vertically upward. What is the moment of force? Force into 8 into what is the distance between the point fulcrum and the point here? That is 1 meter. You can see the couple arm is 2 meter, and from O to A it is 1 meter, and O to B it is 1 meter. You know it. So 8 into 1, that we call it as 8 Newton meter. What is the direction? Clockwise. Alright. It produces a moment of force 8 Newton meter clockwise direction. What is the moment of force due to 8 Newton which is acting vertically downward at B? Vertically downward. The direction of the moment is vertically downward. That is equal to, again, force into perpendicular distance, 8 into 1, that we get it as 8 Newton meter, again in the same direction, clockwise direction. Alright. What is the total moment of force? Or we can say moment of couple. Moment of couple. Or it is also known as the total moment of force about the midpoint O. We can write, since it is in the same direction, they get added up. 8 plus 8, we get 16 Newton meter. 16 Newton meter. Which direction? Again in clockwise direction. Alright? Yes. This is the first part of the question that we have completed. Moving on to the second part. What is the second part? To name the resultant effect of these two forces produced. What is the effect of these two forces? When two forces which are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, what is constituted due to these forces? What is the effect of these two forces? All of you know that it forms a couple. Of course, two equal parallel forces not acting along the same line of action of force constitute a couple. So we can write two equal, unlike and parallel forces, each 8 Newton, form a couple and produce a rotational effect. Couple always produces a rotational effect. Alright? Steps are clear to you? Okay, fine. Now what are the important key points we learned in today's session? Please note down the key points, because these key points play an important role in learning physics. First, arm of couple. Perpendicular distance between two equal and opposite parallel forces is called the arm of couple. Second, moment of couple. The product of one of the forces of the couple arm of the couple is called moment of couple. Moment of couple is equal to force into arm of couple. Then third, couple. Two equal and opposite parallel forces whose line of action are not the same form a couple. What are the units of moments of couple? In SI system it is Newton meter. In CGS system, of course, it is Dyne centimeter. Please remember the key points. Now let's have a fast round revision. Moment and couple. Moment of a force. The tendency of a force to rotate the body to which it is applied is called the moment of force. Examples: opening a door, riding a bicycle, opening a bottle cap, etc. Moment of a force about a point axis is given by force into perpendicular distance. Principle of moments. When a body acted upon by several forces in one plane is in equilibrium, the sum of the clockwise moment is equal to sum of the anticlockwise moment. That is known as principle of moments. Then couple. A pair of equal, parallel, unlike non-collinear forces acting on a rigid body constitute a couple. It produces rotatory motion only. Remember that it produces rotational motion. Examples of couple: opening a tap, churning of curd, steering off of a wheel. These are some of the daily examples that we see. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching ICSE Physics, keeping intellectually engaged. Stay tuned for more interesting videos to come up. Thank you very much.